Hi, how was your day? Mine was utter shit. I woke up this morning, drenched in piss. That's right, I'm not afraid to admit it. I am a bedwetter. Be judgmental all you want. I gave up giving a shit a long time ago. Anyways, I ate some breakfast, fed my cat Adolf Hitler, and went on my usual morning commute, working as a trash man. It's a dull job exactly 93.4527% of the time. I'm also a genius mathematician who's been kicked out of every university I've lectured at because I stole chalk from the classrooms. Fucking little shits ratted me out every time. I grew up loving the Toy Story franchise, still owning my original Buzz and Woody toys to this very day. Anyway, enough about me. I happened to stop by Pixar Animation Studios on my usual route, but nothing interesting has come from their dumps until today when I stumbled across a certain VHS tape at the bottom of their dumpster. The New Toy, 1992, was scribbled in black Sharpie with the words, "Please destroy JL," smiley face under it, scrawled in silver Sharpie. JL standing for the director of Toy Story, John Lasseter. Under that was, "P.S. We need more Sharpies," written in black crayon. Did I just come across an early version of Toy Story? I muttered to myself. I got a massive boner from this amazing find, hiding the tape in my coat pocket along with my large and hard Woody. Woody? After finishing my job for the day, I hurried home and popped this fantastic tape into my VHS player and pressed play on my VHS player. The words "The New Toy" appeared in white text against a black background, with what sounded like Randy Newman singing an early version of "You Got a Friend in Me," but sounded like he was singing it in a raspy tone, taking small rests in between verses to burp rather loudly. There was some metallic clanging in the background as well. I was already wondering what the fuck was going on at this point. I continued out of curiosity as to what unfolds from here on out. The screen faded into Andy playing with a ventriloquist dummy version of Woody. Looked like the early test film that everyone has seen, but the quality of the animation was lower, like the characters were on strings being controlled by a retarded monkey with palsy. The camera panned out to reveal that Andy was playing with Woody during his birthday party.
Woody?
Andy went to go help his mom with something, leaving Woody alone in the room. He came to life immediately, materializing a piece of chalk from his holster. This made my heart drop several times over. "Someone's been stealing chalk around these parts," he said. It sounded like Tom Hanks doing a gruff voice with a thick Texas accent. It's been said that Woody was more mean-spirited in the early drafts of Toy Story, but what happened next made me understand why this was never to be seen by anyone outside of Pixar. Woody took Buzz Lightyear, who was named Tempest from Morph at the time and was way tinier in comparison to Woody, out of his newly unwrapped box and proceeded to draw a dick on his forehead with a piece of chalk, while laughing sinisterly. "Who's the dickhead now, spaceman?" Woody shouted with nothing short of what I could describe as evil, twisted enjoyment. I was more mortified by the fact that they fucking swore in this cartoon. Tempest tried removing the white chalky cock from his forehead, but to no avail. It cut back to Woody, but "You will be a dick to infinity and beyond, midget!" Woody howled in an almost demonic tone. When it cut back to Tempest, he looked clearly offended and screamed, "You will pay for this, cowboy!" He sounded more like Jim Carrey than Tim Allen and sounded more like a superhero. It cut back to Woody, back to normal. Woody turned and scowled at the camera, his eye seemingly following my movements.
This town ain't big enough for the two of us,
he said as the tape began to sputter. Cut to Sid torturing the two toys. Odd thing is, while Sid was torturing them, they were alive during it. Tempest was clearly screaming, but his voice was replaced with the sound of nails on a chalkboard. Woody wasn't screaming, seemingly not feeling any pain whatsoever. Sid started controlling the stick, making Woody's mouth open and closed. He started mocking the cowboy.
I'm a cowboy. I kill Indians even though my ancestors massacred a whole bunch of them to take over America.
I was shocked by this. The last thing I expected from Sid is for him to have a political agenda of any kind, being a 12-year-old kid. Sid proceeded to slap Woody across the face. Woody pulled a knife out of Hammer space, slowly walking towards Sid, knife raised. Sid screamed hyper-realistically as he took off running. Woody was somehow keeping up with Sid as he was walking at a slow creep. Sid tired himself out, falling to the ground with a thud. Woody said to Sid,
"This town ain't big enough for the two of us," in a
gurgly, death-sounding manner. Woody drove the knife into Sid's chest. Woody and Tempest laughed demonically. The tape stopped there, automatically rewinding, signifying that the tape did in fact end. I sat back in my seat. I felt something sit beside me. There beside me sat a ventriloquist dummy version of Woody.
They don't call me Woody for nothing.
Woody noticed that I certainly didn't find his jokes to be savory in any meaning of the word. Upon seeing me with the tape with obviously hostile intentions in mind, I was able to smash the tape on the ground before Woody could get to me. He screamed with the voice of what I can only call satanic before he exploded. I sighed in relief, believing it was all over. That wasn't until I heard a rustling within the closet where I keep my old belongings. Out comes Tempest from motherfucking Morph. He walked into the sunset, carrying pieces of chalk and drawing dicks on the sidewalk, flipping the middle finger to elderly women and to really anyone who called him a midget, because that term is apparently offensive. A word of advice to fellow trash men and women out there. Do not pick up any VHS tapes you may see on dumpsters, especially if they're found outside of movie studios. And never steal chalk, for it will haunt you for the rest of your life.